Well, the manual. So here's the funny thing: the E-Gear was the upgrade. You had to pay like
okay. So and this is what I mean. It's like no one when they started shifting with paddles, everybody's like, "Ooh, I want to look like an F1 car." Yeah. Well, everybody's got that.
Yeah, and people didn't realize that only 5 people actually ordered them with the manuals, and now those are essentially priceless.
Do you think it was because nobody ordered them, or they just said right off the bat, "We're only making 5 or 6"? Because if someone had said that, I'm sure they would have got snagged up.
The Murcielago SV is actually kind of it's a bit of a tragedy in terms of how that car's press run went, and there's a few factors that went into like production numbers and everything that went. So there's only about 170 SVs. They're all badged to say that there's one of 250. Mm-hmm. They never made 250. They made like 168 because essentially this is all just research I've done. I can't confirm if this is 100% accurate, but just bear with me. The forums say that essentially people spec these cars out on everybody would get an allocation. You get your number and you'd spec it out, but Lamborghini was coming out with the Aventador. So what a lot of people think happened is they just pulled their Murcielago.
Like the Corvette C7s, they pulled all their orders waiting for the C8.
Order. Yeah, so they pulled the order on the SV and then just went straight for the Aventador, which at the time, I mean, that's how
Lamborghini if you want performance, it makes sense, but collectability,
yeah, absolutely not. And it's a real shame because there were 100 SVs that just weren't built because there was no demand for it, and then of that 168, there's only 5 manuals because everybody was getting hung up on the paddles and
flappy paddles.
I mean, it's the car company's fault. They were all promoting it, and if you got the stick, you're just laughing now because that car is just so incredibly rare.
What did the last manual 640 sell for? I think you had posted that on one of your.
So
you sent it in the group chat or something like that, and I just couldn't believe that.
Wasn't they're all trading for all over $1 million. I mean, you can't get into a 640. But so in North America, there's only about 28 640 stick shifts. There's only 28, and
so it's going to be a $4 million car very soon.
I don't know about very soon, but I don't think there's no way you're going to lose money on one of those. I think even buying them now over $1 million is still a solid investment. Like you're definitely not going to lose that unless everybody just starts hating them overnight. But there's so many influencers. There's so many people promoting the Murcielago. Like it's getting every year. It seems like there's more people interested in them. Mm-hmm. The SVs are, in my opinion, they're going to be like the next F1. In terms of Lamborghini fans, like McLaren fans are obviously obsessed with those cars. I think those manual SVs, they don't really have a ceiling in terms of price point. You look 30 years down the line when there's just nothing like that around. I mean, those cars are going to be priceless.